and welcome to another episode of Fix It God. Slight change of location today. We are in my messy bedroom. Yeah, I just noticed there's a whole pile of recycling behind me. Just try and put my head in front of that. And we'll see how we go from there. Yeah, so the living room is cold and I've been at work all day. I just wanted to be somewhere a bit cozier. So I'm sat on the corner of my bed, but I am well prepared. I've got my notepad, a whole bunch of notes. So let's crack on, shall we? So today's going to be like a bit of a reintroduction. Allow me to reintroduce myself because, well, I had like a troll. They were just like, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do with my life? And I thought, good question. Who the fuck am I? So I'm here to tell you who the fuck I am, to tell you to change your life and why I am qualified to do so. Because yeah, I relaunched, Vix Card after a couple of years, just presuming like the people who were listening before would join back in again, and I didn't really consider like new people who would be listening. And I know obviously that person was trying to be an ass, but also, haha, you failed because you've inspired an episode. So that's all we have to say about that. So yeah, who the fuck am I? I am Vicky. And I have changed so much as a person, you just would not even know. And if you met me in my life, my everyday life, who I am on the surface, you would have absolutely no idea of the depths my life has been to and where I have crawled my way back out of. Okay, so that is why the fuck I think I'm qualified to help other people do that, right? Because do you know what? Yeah, I've been through some stuff, and quite frankly, if you knew me before, I don't know, my 30s, and then you hadn't seen me until now, which does happen, the kind of people you only see at like christenings, weddings, funerals, etc. And they are like, holy shit, you're different. Yeah, I am different. I am massively different. I was a human pile of wreckage for like the first 30 years of my life. And probably a few years after that, to be honest. The world just didn't make sense to me for as long as I could remember. When I was a smaller child, it was a little bit easier to make sense of, because when you're like a little kid, as long as you're not too weird, you're fine. The kids will get on with you, that's fine. The adult world I didn't quite understand. I'd often be in trouble for things I didn't quite comprehend, but that was grown up business, so whatever. And then then we transitioned into secondary school, and 11 years old was the first time I experienced mental health burnout, to the point that I was hospitalised with all of the symptoms of meningitis, and I was literally kept in an isolation ward for a week, right? So yeah, on the outside, lovely jubbly. On the inside, literally gave myself all the symptoms of a life-threatening disease because I was so stressed when I was a kid. So you're starting to see the qualifications coming through, right? You're starting to see where I've been. Let me get back to the notes, because I do digress. I really do. So yeah, like I made so many poor choices for so long as well, because I was trying desperately to fit into a world that just did not fit me. And so I would do things that other people did because I thought that was normal. But it wasn't normal, like how that's just weird behaviour. But, when you're desperately trying to make sense of a world and you're like, all these other people seem to understand it, so if I just do what they are doing, surely eventually I will fit in as well. But it doesn't work like that. For us square pegs, these round holes, doesn't matter how much, or how much round holing you do with all the people who are the round holes, you are still a fucking square peg. And it's just not going to work for you. It didn't work for me. All it did was turn me into a huge freaking party mess. Don't get me wrong, I had some cracking times. I've had some fun times, and I've had some stories and some adventures. But looking back now, I was deeply unhappy, actually, extremely so. And it was just these things that I was doing was just to attempt to fit in. I thought perhaps if I could make myself fit in on the outside, I would feel more fitted in on the inside. That shit doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it's actually horrible advice, and it's advice we give children, which is even more horrifying. Like, you know, your kid doesn't fit in at school, you advise them to try and like the things the other people like, and to try and fit in. And that's looking back now, it's actually truly horrifying advice to give a child or anybody, to be honest. Being yourself is definitely awesome. Let's refer back to the notes again. Like I say, yeah, it just hurt. Not only did it hurt me, but it hurt the people around me as well, because I was my brain, it just didn't comprehend why I still didn't fit, why nothing felt right. And then of course, you know, when you're partying on top of that, like, compounds the issue. And yeah, it's not okay. And I tried like so many different ways to change my life. Like, I literally did. I tried so many different things, and just nothing stuck, because nothing made sense to me, because it was all engineered around a system that just doesn't work for me. It's, you know, a lot of mental health help is very much focused on what I like to call the shit sandwich method. They don't tell you how to get rid of the shit sandwich, they just tell you how to eat the shit sandwich with a smile. But the sandwich is still shit. So that's like that's not helpful at all. I did a few years ago get into private therapy. Please don't think I am dismissing the NHS. NHS is wonderful. It's a fabulous thing. You know, it's envy of the world when it works correctly. But their mental health funding is really not okay, and how they deal with that is not okay either. That is something that really does need looking into, in my opinion. But obviously it's massively underfunded and understaffed, so who knows when that'll happen. But I am very fortunate, and I managed to get some private therapy. Thank you very much to Mum and Dad for bankrolling that for me. And 6 months with her changed my life, because she wasn't trying to make me fit. She wasn't trying to make Miss Square Peg fit into round hole. She was just trying to show me where the square holes were. And that was fucking awesome. She is amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I think one of the first big steps for me was giving up the drinking. That was so important in my recovery from trying to be normal. I think that's what I'm going to call it, recovering from trying to be normal. God, I tried so hard for so long to be normal. Do you know what normal is? Normal is bullshit. Normal is subjective. Normal is nonsense. Normal is propaganda. And it's really bad propaganda as well, because they want this normalcy to carry on their capitalism, because it doesn't work without normalcy. It doesn't work without the sheep and the compliance. But that's a whole different thing. I'm going to put some people off there, so I'm going to stop getting into that. But that's why she was amazing. And like I say, stopping the drink was really good as well, because when you use substances of any kind, drink, food, drugs, exercise, you know, anything really, to avoid your inner thoughts, it's just a plaster. If you can't be alone with your own thoughts, you do need to go to therapy. You really do. And that's not judgment. I think everybody should go to therapy. Even if you think you're the healthiest person in the world, go and book yourself a few sessions. If nothing else, these people are paid secret keepers. So you can just tell them anything. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But then once, you know, I understood why it's okay to be different, and also not only that, but how to use the differences in my brain to make my life so much better. It was freaking awesome. It was absolutely freaking awesome. You know, I did like a lot of what a lot of people do at the beginning of their journeys, when it comes to sort of manifestation, because once you've got your mindset in check and you're starting to feel more healthy and normal, and you spent more time thinking, you realise actually there's like, the world isn't what they tell you it is. There's a lot more going on that you can well, yeah, it's tricky to explain. The world is not as black and white, and the energy is so important because we're all energy. Like I say, I started reading The Secret and Abraham Hicks and stuff like that because I was like, there's something else. This can't be it. There's something else on this planet, and that's when it all started making a lot more sense to me. And stopping and thinking, that's why I think therapy is so good. Stopping and thinking is hugely important because I'm going to get back into my put your tinfoil hats back on. I'm about to go back into it. The powers that be arrange our lives in such a way that we don't think. We sleepwalk into things. We just do what everybody else does. And they need us to do that, because if they don't, we don't settle down, we don't breed children, and then they have nobody to send into their factories, nobody to send off to war. And that's really important to these powers that be, because they need bodies for that. It's hugely important. Capitalism needs bodies. It needs backs to break. And so they need us to sleepwalk into this 2.4 children lifestyle because they need it for them, their own financial lucrative purposes. But when you understand that you don't have to do that, and when you understand that the world is not just made up of things that you can see, but it's actually made up of energies that can be manipulated into changing your life, wow, everything just becomes you see so much. I liken it to walking past a painting every day, and you don't notice the painting, but then one day you do, and you're like, hang on, something wrong there. I don't know, maybe there's like a flower, and instead of colouring it in flower colour, they coloured it in green like the leaves. And once you've seen that, every day you'll notice that. But not only that, you'll notice more and more and more things that actually aren't correct, and yet you just assume, walk past it every day for years and years and years and didn't notice a thing. That's what it's like on this side of my brain, on this side of thinking, of this getting out of the norm, which is hugely important if you want to manifest a better life, because one of the main things that they drum into you is, this is it. You have made a choice. You are stuck with it forever. Absolute nonsense. Absolute flipping nonsense. Yeah, absolutely. It's not. Oh, hang on. I thought, oh my God, I've deleted so much on my phone and I'm still haven't got any memory. Right. Okay. I'm going to have to pause. We're going to have to just do some bad editing. Hold on. I managed to reclaim another 10 minutes. So let's see what we can do. So yeah, like how, I've forgotten where I was now. Oh, God damn it, isn't that the worst when you're editing in between? Oh yeah, we put our tinfoil hats back on, right? So when I went to therapy and when I started reading more of these books, sort of woo-woo type books, I realised very, very quickly that human life is not designed for happiness. It is designed for human productivity. It is designed to benefit those at the top, and they need us all compliant, and they need us all working hard, and they need us all to settle down and have a couple of kids, because otherwise their whole system falls apart. Excuse me. Some of my Diet Coke. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, but I do drink my Diet Coke out of a real fancy glass because, well, why the hell not? So yeah, true. It's proper true rebellion if you follow the Vixicon way, because you are truly stepping out of what the powers that be want you to be doing. You are stepping out of the herd. You are stepping out of sleepwalking into decisions you didn't even make. You just did because everybody else did, which is wild. You know, I hate to like sound like your mum, but if everybody else jumped off a bridge, would you do it too? Because that's how y'all are living. That's how everybody's living. You are all jumping off the bridges because everybody else is doing it. You're literally living that way. You are literally living that way. And I don't want that for anybody. I really don't want that for anybody. So, you know, living like this is going to change society. So do it if you want to. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it because I am genuinely happy. That's the other reason I am qualified to teach you all this, because I am genuinely one of the people who enjoys my life the most. I know a lot of people. That's not a brag. I'm just real chatty. So I know a lot of people. Not only that, but I have a customer facing business where I talk to people all day. So I speak to a lot of people, and I am genuinely one of the happiest people I know. I live a life that makes sense to me, and I don't hurt anybody, and it's brilliant. I don't really have anything to complain about. Most of the issues in my life are basically because of other people. But general, me as a whole, as a human, I'm awesome. My life is awesome. It makes me happy. If you could see the difference in just a decade in my life, you would be following everything I do. Everything I do, because you would just see how much of a tremendous change it has made to internally, externally, financially. Oh, that Diet Coke was made me burp. No matter how fancy I get in this life, I will never be able to stop burping. But hey ho, it's real. It's real. That is the other thing about me as well. Not only am I happy, I am real. So many people are not real for reasons that I can't even comprehend. Because what is the point in going through life not being real? What is the point in going through life obfuscating, not meaning what you say, trying to get people to like read between the lines? Like, who has time for this? Our time on this planet is limited. Get out of the herd. Follow the Vixicon method and change your damn life. I changed my life. Let's change yours. That's it. So, Mr/Miss Troll/ they, them. I don't know who you are. Girls, gays, theys. Probably a dude, because usually is. So when you ask me, who the fuck am I? I'm Vicky. That's who the fuck I am. And I am here to change your life and make it infinitely more awesome. And that's literally what I'm here to do. So I'm going to sign off there because I'm going to run out of time again. But thank you for listening and learning who the fuck I am. And for those of you who have been long-time listeners, thank you for allowing me to reintroduce myself to all the noobs. It's good for them to know who I am and what we're about here. And what we are about here is changing lives. Our lives, the lives of people around us, the lives of society as a whole. This mess has to stop. And it starts with us. One person can make the smallest of changes. One person can make the biggest of changes by doing the simplest of actions. So follow the Vixicon method, tune in every week, follow the Instagram, and let's get awesome. Right, love you all. I'll catch you all next week. Mwah.